reconstruction begins on January the 30th.
From Whiskey receiving over. Can you go to the Presto supermarket, 62 the High Street, Putney? Report of an alarm bell ringing, over. Whiskey receiving 728. Premises of Presto's appear secure. Could you call a key holder out, please? From Whiskey receiving over. Key holder on way, Whiskey out.
The key holder was the manager, Steve Whitnell, and with the police called to another incident, Steve was alone when he arrived to switch off the alarm just before 11 o'clock. Steve knew the alarm had a tendency to go off without apparent cause, and with the police reassurance there'd been no break-in, it didn't occur to him that this was anything other than routine. Steve went to check exactly where in the supermarket the alarm had been triggered and arranged for an engineer to come and reset it.
Hello, mate. It's Presto's Putney here. We've had an alarm call.
Yes?
We'll have to get the engineer to reset it.
Right, your name, please?
Mr. Whitnell, code 8759.
Whitnell, OK. What zone went off?
24. It's the wine store.
Have you checked to see if anything set it off?
No, I'll do that now if you like.
Yes, please. I'll hold on for you.
OK, hang on.
On his way to check the store, Steve noticed that lights had been left on in the meat department. It was the first sign of anything out of the ordinary. The wine store was undisturbed.
Hello? Yeah, I've had a look and everything seems to be all right. Must have been a vibration or something set it off. Hang on, I just heard something. Must be someone on the premises. Get the police over here as quick as you can.
Put the phone down. Hurry up. Let's have it.
Knowing now that the police had been alerted, the gunmen were intent only on getting away. They left empty-handed.
Stay there.
When Steve heard the sound of a car starting, he felt it was safe to go to the window. He saw the gunman getting into a red Mark I Ford Capri. As the car turned into Putney High Street, he noticed half the registration. The car then turned left in the direction of Wandsworth.
Have you got a description or index, 728, over?
Two coloured men made off in red Capri, part index 607 in November. Car has a black vinyl roof, black grille on the rear window, headed east down Montserrat Road. One man armed, believed with a sawn-off shotgun. First male, 6'2", aged early 20s. Second of a similar description, Whiskey 2 out.
Steve took the following week off work. He'd been badly shaken by the ordeal and he needed time to recover. His fiancée, Wendy Sanderson, remembers he didn't talk much about what had happened. She thought to save her from worry. The couple planned to marry in a few weeks' time, and they were looking forward to setting up home and starting a family together. It's Monday, the 10th of February, 11 days after the confrontation with the gunman. It's Steve Whitnell's first day back at work. Wendy also worked at Presto's on the provisions counter. During the afternoon, Steve and Wendy took time off for an appointment with a local building society. They'd seen a two-bedroomed flat in Norbury they hoped to buy. When they returned to the store, Wendy left their car parked outside the rear goods entrance. It's now 10 to 7 that evening. The store closes at 6 on a Monday, and by now everybody had gone home except Wendy, who was waiting for Steve to finish locking up.
Wendy?
Are you ready now?
I'll just go and finish locking the stock room, and then I better go and lock the car park. I'll see you around the back in a moment.
OK, I'll wait for you by the back door.
OK.
Normally, Steve set the alarm and left the store by the front entrance. And he was intending to do this after he'd locked the car park. As Wendy waited, the sequence of events began that would cost Steve his life.
Don't worry. Everything's gonna be all right.
Steve, there's someone looking in at the back door.
OK, babe. While we're here, I'll zip out the back and lock up the car park.
Steve wasn't concerned, as there were often vagrants around at the back of the store.
Oh, babe, it's 7 o'clock already.
Stay there. The money. Open the safe. The money.
Don't hurt him! He'll give you the money!
Get the keys.
I can't get through.
Steve Whitnell was shot in the back at point-blank range as he lay helplessly on the floor. Wendy was forced at gunpoint to search through her dying fiancé's pockets for keys to the safe. But the safe could only be opened by combination. There were no keys. They left, Wendy believes, heading in the direction of Lacey Road.
Hold on, babe, hold on. It's going to be all right. Hold on. Please, please.
Within seconds of being shot, Steve Whitnell was dead. Well, leading this inquiry is Detective Superintendent Derek Todd. The first question is why they needed to kill him. Has any motive come to light?
No, there's no reason at all. All that we know is that we think the motive is robbery.
How certain are you that it was the same two men in both incidents?
We're pretty certain. The description given by Mr. Whitnell in the first incident ties pretty closely to that of one of the men in the second
Yes, we have on the
incident.
screen there Steve's identikit picture from that first incident.
Yes, the man was 6'2" and aged between 20 and 22 years, and that resembled very closely the description given by Wendy on the second incident.
Yes, we have the artist's impression there from Wendy, and that's her description from the man from the second incident, who you think is the same man.
Yes, I do. The only slight difference, as one can see, is the hair. Quite clearly, in the second incident, the man had ringlets.
What about the man who shot Steve? We have Wendy's description of him too.
Yes, he was much shorter, about the same height, about 5 feet, same age, I should say, 5 feet 7 or 8 in height.
But that's the most detail you could get.
That's right. She couldn't identify him at all.
Now, I know there are a number of things which actually baffle you about this crime. What are they?
Well, the main thing is the fact that the men were at the back door at all. Steve Whitnell usually left the shop by the front door, and we just cannot understand why the men should be waiting at the back.
So it's quite likely somebody would have seen people loitering around at the back.
Well, that's right. They certainly wouldn't have known at what time he was likely to come out the back, if at all. And we just feel that they must have been there for some time, and yet we found nobody who actually saw them there.
And Steve was shot at close range, so somebody should have seen perhaps somebody with blood-stained clothing.
Well, that is right. According to what Wendy told us, one of the men went through Steve's pockets, and quite clearly he would be heavily bloodstained, certainly in the arm area.
Now, the gun they used was a sawn-off shotgun.
That is correct.
Using quite unusual ammunition, you think? One of these two cartridges here?
Yes, that is correct. The scientists have been able to tell us it's one of those two. It's Mionchi make. It's an Italian make imported into this country. And certainly one of the two is quite unusual in the home counties.
So what you need really is an arms dealer, perhaps, who remembers selling that.
Well, that's right. Two things, really. One, any arms dealer who remembers selling this type of ammunition to our suspects, or indeed anybody who has ammunition like this and have had it stolen and haven't reported it to police.
Do you have any theories on how the two men got into the supermarket on the first incident?
We can only assume that they hid in the shop while it was actually open. There's certainly no sign of forced entry anywhere.
Because their car must have been parked outside for some time. It was quite distinctive, wasn't it?
Well, that's right. I mean, we're baffled about that as well, the fact the car must have been there for some time. The car is a red Ford Capri with a black vinyl roof. It has quite distinctive black slats on the rear window and two aerials at the front.
And Steve saw half the number plate?
Yes, he did, 607N November, but we have established that that is a false number.
Right, well, let's hope you can call and help us with something. The number here, if you can help, is 01 811 8055. You can ring in absolute confidence. Or you can call the incident room at Earlsfield Police Station on 01 947 6121. That's 01 947 6121.